router. And one more thing that I think we have skipped, that what kind of connection can be there. Let me show you the book. See, uh, we started with this topic, TCP congestion control, right? And then we have discussed about uh, what can cause the timeout, right? So first one is noise in the transmission line, and the second one is packet discarded due to a congested router. So now, because nowadays we are using the fiber optic cable. That is why we don't have much noise in our transmission line, except the wireless connections, right? So the main reason of timeout is packet discarded at the congested router. So how a particular network can be congested, right? So there are two figures. In first one, a fast network feeding a low capacity receiver. Here you can see that a network is uh, fast. So they have taken the example of a funnel and a tape, and you can see that the tunnel is very much wider and the receiver is very much slower, right? So this can be the case when congestion can occur at the receiver side, right? So this is a small capacity receiver, and here you can see this is the case of network congestion. Whenever you are sending the data, so this is the sender and this is the transmission channel, this is the transmission channel, and this is the receiver, right? So they are sending the data, but in between somewhere else the network is congested because of low capacity, right? So here you can consider that this is a slow network and it is feeding a high capacity receiver. So overall performance will be degraded, right? So I think this figure I have not explained yesterday, and then we had covered congestion control, in which we can consider the congestion avoidance. So how we can avoid the congestion? Okay, what is a slow start? What is a slow start?
Ma'am, we increase the size of window exponentially, but we start from the very small size.
Okay, yeah, we are by increasing the size of window exponentially, that is called slow start. And to avoid the congestion, we increase the size of window by 1 unit only, right? So that is congestion avoidance. So if you are asked how to avoid a congestion, you can tell this, that you can increase the size of window by one unit rather than the increasing it by exponentially, right? Another thing that you can use in congestion control is that threshold, yes, right? We can set some threshold. After the threshold, you can slow down the increase of the size of window, right? So this is all that we have discussed yesterday, and today we are going to take a brief overview about the TCP timers. So basically there are three type of timers. I think all these three we have discussed in our previous discussions, but we don't know the names of these timers, right? So, so first one is the persistent timer. first one is the persistent timer, right? So to deal with the zero window size deadlock situation, TCP uses the persistent timer. So whenever a TCP receives the acknowledgement with zero window size, so you know that, right? So window management we have discussed that we have discussed previously that a sender was sending some data and the receiver was advertising some window size, right, along with the acknowledgement, right? So whenever a receiver advertises zero window size, right, the persistent timer will start, right? So you can say it works with zero window size deadlock situation. So when the deadlock situation will occur in case of zero window size, when we can consider that it is a deadlock situation, yes. So suppose a sender is sending some data and here we have the receiver. See, I'm explaining this again, right? So whenever next time I ask you question about it, I want the answers from you, right? So here you can consider the sender and the receiver, right? This thing I have explained yesterday also, that a sender is sending some data with some sequence number and receiver is sending acknowledgement with some window size. So this is the case of the window management. But what can be there that this acknowledgement may be lost in between the network. Right. So what a receiver will know that yes, I have sent the acknowledgement and I have announced the window side. But sender will be waiting for the acknowledgement forever, right? So this is the case of zero window size deadlock situation, right? So whenever or another case can be there, you can say that suppose this acknowledgement has been received at the receiver side, right? So let me take the second case can be there that suppose acknowledgement for some sequence number x, y and z and a window size of 0 is advertised and it is received at the receiver side, right? So now sender will consider that the receiver has no capacity to receive any more data, right? But after some time, your receiver may read the data for some application, right? So there may be some available window, right? So the receiver will be again sending some next byte expected and some window size. Say 2k 2k window size is available over here, right? But this message can be lost in the network, right? So this is the case of zero window size deadlock, right? So the sender will assume that there is no space at the receiver side, but actually there is a space of 2k at the receiver side buffer, right? So at this time, your sender will start the persistent timer. So here persistent timer will start and it may be having some amount of time that is predefined, right? So suppose for 10 seconds it is, I'm just taking the example. In real life it can be any number of any amount of time, right? So suppose for 10 seconds the persistent timer is going off, and whenever this persistent timer is off, so after 10 seconds your persistent timer will be off, right? So after the persistent timer is off, your TCP will be sending a special segment. TCP will send a special segment called probe. Right? And this probe will be consisting of 1 byte of new data. A small amount of data will be there, right? And it will be having some sequence number, but that sequence number will be ignored. So just 1 byte of data is to ask the receiver whether there is any available window space over there or no. Right. So suppose the sender is sending this probe message to receiver. So after receiving this probe message, the receiver will again announce the window size which is available. Right. Now the sender will know that yes, the receiver is up now. Right. So sender will be able to send the data of 2K size. Right. So I have already explained this thing yesterday, right? That a sender can ask for sending the data by sending 1 byte of new data, right? So this data will be having some sequence number, but it will be ignored. We are just checking whether the receiver is on or off, right? So because of this probe, it will make the receiver to resend the acknowledgement, right? It will resend it, which was lost, right? This was lost over here, and this receiver will be resending this acknowledgement because of this probe message. Is it clear?
मैम अगर प्रोब वो लॉस्ट हो जाए पैकेट या फिर प्रोब का एक्नॉलेजमेंट लॉस्ट हो जाए तो फिर से टाइमर होगा क्या?
फिर से वो probe मैसेज भेजेगा. See, here you can consider that after it has started, the sender has started the timer, right? So after some time, this is 10-second timer. So after 10 seconds, your persistent timer will be off and it will be sending a probe message, right? So there will be some time to leave for this probe message, right? So there will be some time to leave, right? So suppose time to leave for this probe message is 20 seconds, right? So the particular sender can set its timer to 40 seconds, right? So it will be a 2 round trip time, because it will take 20 seconds, maybe it may be taking 20 seconds to reach, and it may be taking 20 seconds to reach the acknowledgement, right? So it will set time of 2 round trip time, and after this time it can again send the probe message, right? Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Second type of timer sorry. Second type of timer is keep alive timer. Suppose, sorry, suppose a client is there and a client has initiated a connection with the server. And some communication is going on between the client and the server, right? So in TCP, what happens? First, the connection is established and then the communication occurs. So after establishing the connection, client goes down, or you can say client crashes, right? So the server will be waiting for the communication from the client, right? But server will not know that a particular client is down or it has been crashed, right? So you can say that the client becomes silent and your server will be waiting forever. So in a keep alive timer, what a server does, server will reset its timer and it will set its timeout of 2 hours. So the server will be setting the timeout of 2 hours, right? And if within this 2 hours, if a server does not hear from the client, it sends the probe segment. Right. So server will be sending the probe segment after 2 hours. Right. And it will be waiting for the response of this probe segment. Right. So client will be replying with some acknowledgement and something else, some data or something whatever is needed to send to the server, right? So this is called the response. So if a response is received from the client, server will understand that yes, the connection is still on and client has not been crashed, right? But if in case of response not received, it will send this probe message 10 times. Right, and it will set the waiting time between each probe message to 75 seconds, right? So there will be 10 probe messages, each of 75 seconds, right? And if a response is not received from the client, it will consider that the client is down, right? And the server will be terminating the connection. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Then the third type of timer is a timer wait timer. So this timer is used during the TCP connection termination. So how a TCP connection is terminated? How a TCP connection is terminated? If a particular user wants to release a connection, what will the user will be doing? What a user will be doing?
Ma'am, it will be sending the connection release
Yes, it
packet,
will
right?
be sending the connection release message, but there will be FIN bit on, right? Finalize
Yes,
bit.
ma'am.
Yes. So in this case, we have discussed this thing whenever we were discussing about the connection release, that after finalizing the connection, it will wait for some time, right? So for remaining data packets, and then it will terminate the connection, right? But what can be there, that there may be some data packets which have been lost, and they may reach after the termination. They may reach the receiver after terminating the connection. So this timer wait timer will start after sending the last acknowledgement. The last acknowledgement will be of a finalization request, right? And closing the connection. So after TCP connection is closed, it is possible for some datagrams that are still on their way, and they may be reaching the closed port, right? So this can cause the port to be opened again, right? So to prevent this to prevent opening the recently closed port, the timer wait timer is used. So this is also called a quiet timer. So this quiet timer prevents the just closed port from reopening again. And it will make sure that the segments which has been late, they are discarded. Right? All the segments which has been reached late, they are the lost segments, or they are the redundant segments, and they will be discarded. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is all about the timers. We have discussed three type of timers. The TCP timer, the keep alive timer, timer wait timer, which is a quiet timer, right? So your the chapter of a transport layer is completed here. Now we have to start the new chapter. Before starting the new chapter, I will be checking your assignment number 2. It is already 10:48. Okay, we are having 15 minutes. So I would like to ask you to read the chapter, the transport layer from the book. Right, so if you want to, let me show you. If you will search for uh, network by Andrew S. Tannenbaum, right? So this is the author name and this is the book name, and press enter, and there will be a book, right? This is the 5th edition, this is the 4th edition, so you can download this book. This, right? So the book I'm showing you all the time is this book, 4th edition. So it is freely available on the internet. You can download that book and you can read the chapter number 6. I think this is the 6th chapter. Yes, you can read the chapter number 6 from the book, the transport service. Right? Right. This is the book. Let me take the attendance. Okay, so in today's lecture for almost 10 minutes, I will be taking a Viva for your assignment number 2, and in next lecture also I will be taking this Viva, right? So for rest of the time who are free, they can read this transport layer chapter from the book, and if you are encountering any issue or you cannot understand any topic, you can ask. You can ask for the topics whatever you have doubts, and rest of the people will be giving the Viva, right? Starting from the first roll number, which is 81, Bhavyanshi.
Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm sorry, but it's Bhavanshi.
Bhavanshi, yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Yes, so what is a DNS?
Sorry, ma'am, can you repeat yourself once again?
What is a DNS?
Ma'am, it's a DNS is a domain name system. It's like a phone book for internet. It connects different web browsers with different kind of websites. Hello.
Yes, and what is HTTP?
HTTP.
Yes.
HTTP is The full form, it goes as Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It is an application layer protocol which is used for transmitting documents such as HTML. And it's basically also designed for to have a communication between web browsers and web servers.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
What is a symmetric connection?
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes. What is a symmetric connection?
Yeah, symmetric. It is a connection in which the data speed and the transfer rate of the file is the same in the both the directions.
Okay. It is done. Let
Thank
me.
you, ma'am.
Yeah. Uh, 82 is not present, so 83, Daksh Kumar.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, good morning. Let me open your assignment. What is a generic domain?
What is
Generic domain.
generic domain? Means like it generic domain means it defines the register hosts according to their domain. Like each node in tree defines the domain name.
So you are reading
Then
it from your assignment.
no,
The
ma'am.
exact words.
In DNS, ma'am, the generic domain in DNS.
Yes, yes, but you are reading it from your assignment. Yeah,
I
go on, go on.
I remember that it defines the register host and it gives index to the DNS databases.
What is a country domain?
What is country domain? Like .in uh, for India it is .in. Then each country has its own domain. Okay. Every country has its own domain. Like
What is a HTTP message?
HTTP message. HTTP message. Hypertext transfer protocol. HTTP message means like that related to ASCII, ma'am.
I don't know.
Like in encoded in ASCII, maybe. I don't remember, ma'am.
Okay. What is a socket?
Socket primitive.
Yes.
Socket is in primitive like uh, one like is one endpoint of a two-way communication between two programs. It is used for that. Like for it is used for communication basically.
Okay. Okay, it's done.
Thank you, ma'am.
Number 86, Dhruv Patel. Number 86, are you there?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Just a minute, let me open your assignment. Your assignment is not attached. Why? You have not
I
submitted
completed.
it?
I did it.
You have not submitted it. I cannot see it.
I'll just try again. Just I don't know.
Your voice is breaking.
Uh, I don't know. I just completed it. I know that I completed it.
Just
I don't know.
check the Microsoft Teams, right? It is not there. You can
Okay,
also
ma'am.
check whether you have submitted or not.
Yes, ma'am. I'll just check again.
So what is ISP?
I'm the service provider, internet service provider. That gives
How
you.
it works? How it works with DNS? This assignment is from application layer. Okay. You don't know? What is SMTP? Is it covered? SMTP is covered?
Simple mail transfer.
Yes. So it is work for what? And what is the port number for it?
Uh, mail kind of stuff.
See, because you have not uploaded the assignment, I am giving you marks for Viva only, right? So after uploading, please inform me that you have uploaded your assignment. After that, I will be able to give you marks.
Yes.
મેમ આ SMTP માં પોર્ટ નંબર ફિક્સેટેડ જ હોય
એ તો તમારે એપ્લિકેશન લેયર ચેપ્ટર ચાલ્યું ને ત્યારે તમને કીધું હશે મેડમે.
પણ અગર જો ઈ પોર્ટ નંબર શું કે પહેલેથી ફિક્સેટેડ એટલે ઓક્યુપાઈડ હોય તો શું કરે SMTP?
અરે પોર્ટ નંબર 25 એના માટે ફિક્સ થયેલો હોય અને બધા પાસે એ પોર્ટ નંબર 25 બધા યુઝ કરી જ શકે. રાઈટ, એક વખત બુકમાંથી આ ટોપિક વાંચી લેજો અને પછી મને પૂછજો. જે બુક મેં કીધી ને હમણાં નેટવર્ક લેયર બાય એન્ડ્રુએસ સેનિંગમ, એમાં એપ્લિકેશન લેયર ચેપ્ટર હશે, આઈ થિંક 7 નંબરનું ચેપ્ટર હશે ટ્રાન્સપોર્ટ લેયર પછીનું. એમાં SMTP વાંચી લેજો અને પછી જે ડાઉટ હોય મને પૂછજો, કેમ કે એ કવર થઈ ગયું છે ને. ઓકે. ઓકે.
બટ મેમ એમાં પહેલેથી ઓક્યુપાઈડ હશે એ વાળો કેસ મને નહીં લાગતું હોય અગેન.
તમે એકવાર વાંચી લો પછી મને પૂછજો. પોર્ટ નંબર કઈ રીતે વર્ક કરે એ જોઈ લો. તમે વાંચી છે બુક? યસ ઓર નો?
નો મેમ.
હા, તો જોઈ લો એકવાર, પછી આપણે નેક્સ્ટ લેક્ચરમાં વાત કરીએ. Okay, it's time. Okay, in next lecture we will be continuing it from here. Thank you everyone. You can leave now.
Thank you, ma'am.
Those who have not uploaded the assignment, please upload it.